Hello everyone, welcome to the new video lecture of subject Interconnected Power System. Myself Himanshu Joshi. I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. So in this particular subject, today we will start with the new chapter, and name of that chapter is Frequency and Voltage Control Methods. So this is the content of our new chapter. We will learn each and every topic in detail with step by step. So let's start with the introduction part for this particular chapter. So since a power grid required that generation and load closely balance moment by moment and frequent adjustment to the output of generator are necessary. So we know that in a particular power system, generation should be equal to demand. If we neglect the losses, practically generation is equal to demand plus loss. Ideally we can say that generation should be equal to demand. So we can say that as demand is continuously changing, so based on that changes, generation is also changed. And if there is a unbalance between generation and demand, then there is a problem of frequency changing or deviation of frequency has been occurred. So we need some adjustment so that output of generator are meet with the demand. So that balance between generation and demand can be judged by measuring the system frequency. If system frequency is constant, we can say that if frequency is constant, then we can say that generation is equal to the demand. If there is a fluctuation in frequency that is continuously occurs, then we can say that there is a mismatch between generation and demand. So let me give you a proof that how frequency can say that there is a balance between generation and demand. So basically we can say that synchronous speed of synchronous machine or alternator is given by this formula: Ns is equal to 120 F by P. Since 120 is a numerical number, so that is the constant. P is the number of pole, so that is also a constant. So we can say that synchronous speed is directly proportional to the frequency. Synchronous speed is directly proportional to the frequency. So let me give you equation number 1, that synchronous speed is proportional to the frequency. Now I can write the second equation, that load is inversely proportional to the synchronous speed. Load is inversely proportional to synchronous speed. So how can I say that load is inversely proportional to synchronous speed? Let me told you that whenever there is an increase in load, that increase in load, their effect is occurs on generator shaft. Clear? Whenever there is an increase in load, that increment in load, their effect has been generated at synchronous shaft, synchronous machine or alternator or generator shaft. That means whenever there is an increase in load, their speed goes down. Clear? So whenever there is an increase in load, their speed goes down, and vice versa, whenever there is a decrease in load, increase in speed will occur. And that's why I have written over here that load is inversely proportional to the synchronous speed. Clear? So I have written over here that load, that means current I, is inversely proportional to the synchronous speed. Now I can replace synchronous speed with frequency because both are proportional to each other. So I can directly say that load is inversely proportional to the 1 by frequency. load is inversely proportional to the 1 by frequency. So again we can conclude that if it is increasing, clear, if frequency is going to increase, so let me show you upward arrow over here, frequency goes increase, then more power is being generated than used. So how this will happen? So let me told you that frequency is going to increase. So if frequency going to increase, we can say that load is decreasing. So load is decreasing, that means what? That means that at generating station the generated power is more compared to used. So due to that frequency is going to increase. So let me mark over here, frequency is going to increase. So due to that all the machine, or we can say that generator speed is going to increase. So we can say that machine system will accelerate. So this is the first point, clear. If frequency going to increase, frequency is going to increase, load will decrease, so there is a less demand compared to generation. So we can say that more power is being generated compared to used, clear. So due to that synchronous speed is going to increase, or synchronous speed is going to rise, and that will accelerate all the machine in a particular power plant. So this is the first case. Now compared to second case, if frequency goes down, if frequency goes down, so again frequency goes down over here. If denominator is reducing, that means load will increase. Now what does it mean? That means that demand is more than the generation, clear, demand is more than the generation, and that will reduce the speed of all the machineries, or we can say that that will reduce the speed of synchronous machine. So frequency is decreasing, that means load is more on the system compared to their generation, and it will causes all the generator to slow down their speed, so speed will decrease. So with measuring the frequency, we can judge the balance between generation and demand, clear. We can directly check the judgment, the generation and demand. So this is the way we can handle this system, just by measuring the frequency of system. So if frequency is constant, we can say that system is under the balance condition, that means generation is equal to demand. So to keep the system frequency constant, or we can say that to keep the generation and demand at equal, we need to understand, or we need to understand the system, that is the automatic generation control system, or we can say that AGC system. So in electrical power system, automatic generation control AGC is a system for adjusting the power output of multiple generator at different power plant in response to change in load. So AGC is a system which will adjust the output of multiple generator at different power plant to response the change in load. So as our development has been increased, there has been a higher demand of electrical power load at industrial and domestic scale. So as our country is in the direction of development, so more development will be occur if we will use the more electricity. So there is always a increment in the demand at both the area, that is the industrial area and domestic area. So as this number of load has been increased, they are also imperative to manage the load properly, since a failure to the result in frequency fluctuation and voltage drop. So as this load is continuously increased, there has to be a precaution to maintain the frequency of the system constant, or we can say that there has to be done a comparative action to match this increment in the demand. If this will not happen, then there will be a fluctuation in frequency and fluctuation in the voltage. So an effective regularity strategy is available in the form of automatic voltage regulator AVR and ALFC, automatic load frequency control. So to maintain the frequency constant and to maintain the voltage constant, there is a two type of device that has been used. To maintain the voltage, we are going to use automatic voltage regulator AVR, and to maintain the frequency, we are going to use the automatic load frequency control system. So to maintain the frequency, we have to use ALFC, automatic load frequency control, and to maintain the voltage, we need automatic voltage regulator. So the main function of ALFC is to rectify the power and frequency fluctuation, and the main function of AVR is to regulate the voltage and reactive power. Now the question arises in your mind that why we have to control the frequency deviation. Clear? If there is a change in frequency, then why we have to don't allow that change in frequency. Clear? So there are few reasons that why there should be a strict limitation on frequency deviation. So let's discuss that reason one by one. So first reason is that a three-phase AC motor running at speed which is directly proportional to the frequency. So we can say that in industrial area, in agriculture area, we are going to use the AC motors, and that AC motor, their speed is directly proportional to the system frequency, or we can say that grid frequency. So variation in system or grid frequency will affect their operation in industrial area as well as in agriculture area. So the variation of system frequency will directly affect the motor performance. So that is the first reason. That's why frequency of system has to be in limitation. Second reason is that the blades of steam turbine and water turbine are designed to operate at particular speed. Clear? Blades of steam turbine and water turbine are designed to operate at particular speed, and the frequency variation will cause to change in their speed, and that will lead to excessive vibration and cause damage to the turbine blade. We have already noted down that speed is directly proportional to the frequency. So turbine speed is also directly proportional to the frequency of alternator. So if there is a change in frequency, there has to be the change in synchronous speed. So that turbine blade has been designed to operate at constant frequency. So if there is a change in frequency, there also be change in speed, and that will cause the vibration and damage the turbine blades. So this is the second reason that why frequency has to be constant. Third reason is that frequency error may produce havoc in digital storage and retrieval process. So this is the third reason that why system frequency has to be constant. So here the schematic diagram of load frequency and voltage control of turbo generator. This is the basic diagram which will gives us the information of how to control the frequency and how to control the voltage. So frequency is proportional to the speed. So I have one suggestion or one idea that if we want to control the frequency, then we have to control the speed of alternator. Ultimately, I can say that we have to control the speed of turbine, which is almost equal to the speed of generator, and ultimately I can say that speed of turbine is directly proportional to the flow of steam. So ultimately we have to control the flow of steam to control the frequency. Again, let me told you that frequency is proportional to the synchronous speed or generator, synchronous speed of generator. Again, generator speed is proportional to the steam turbine speed. Again, turbine speed is proportional to the flow of steam. So to control the frequency, we have to control the flow of steam. Clear? So this is the dependency of each and every parameter of frequency. Frequency depends on synchronous machine speed. Synchronous machine speed depends on the steam turbine speed, and steam turbine speed is directly proportional to the flow of steam. So directly proportionality has been occur of frequency versus steam flow. So ultimately we are going to measure the frequency of alternator. Clear? To control the steam flow. First of all, we are going to measure the output frequency of alternator. Now that output frequency has been compared with some reference frequency. Suppose output frequency is, let me write over here, for example 50.5, and reference frequency is supposed to 50 Hertz. Clear? So over here a frequency sensor and comparator has been here. So what will it do? It will compare the output frequency with our reference frequency. Clear? It will sense the output frequency and compare that output frequency with reference frequency. So over here error signal has been generated. Clear? Let me write over here delta F error, delta Fe. Clear? So based on that error signal, either it is positive, suppose in this case that is the 0.5 Hertz plus 0.5 Hertz. Clear? If it is 49.5, then there will be a minus 0.5 Hertz. So based on that error, that signal has been given as an input to steam valve controller. Clear? That frequency error signal has been given to steam valve controller. So the output of steam valve controller has been given to the another comparator that is at the steam input. Clear? So based on this signal, the amount of steam has been controlled. Suppose over here frequency is more than the reference frequency. Suppose let me write over formula over here. Ns, synchronous speed, is proportional to frequency. So this output frequency is more. So again our machine will run at above the synchronous speed. Clear? This is more than 50 Hertz. So frequency is more than the reference value. So our generator speed is more than the synchronous speed. So we have to reduce that frequency. to 50.5 to 50 Hertz. So we have to reduce the speed of synchronous machine. If this speed will reduce, this frequency comes down to 50 Hertz. So this steam valve has to be closed up to the 50 Hertz. Steam valve are going to close up to the 50 hertz. So if we will close this steam valve, the steam speed which comes to this turbine has been reduced. So turbine speed goes down. If turbine speed goes down, the alternator speed goes down. If alternator speed goes down, then this frequency will go down. Clear? So this is the sequence that has to be followed if frequency is more than the fundamental frequency. On the vice versa case, if frequency is reduced compared to reference frequency, then over here minus error has been generated, and based on that steam valve goes, we have to open this steam valve. So again turbine speed will goes up, and on the vice versa case generator speed is also goes up, and this frequency will increase to the 50 hertz. So this is the second case when generator frequency is less than the fundamental frequency. Now consider the vice versa case or opposite case for the voltage. So again we have to measure the output voltage of generator. Again this is the voltage sensor and comparator that will sense the voltage and compare that voltage to the reference value. Compare that voltage to the reference value, and that reference value has been given to the excitation controller. That has to be given to the excitation controller. If output voltage is less than the reference voltage, clear? Suppose if output voltage is less than the reference voltage, less than the reference voltage, so to increase the voltage, clear? If output voltage is less than the reference voltage, then the obvious thing is that we have to increase that voltage so that it will comes to the equal to the reference voltage. So in that case we have to increase the excitation. We have to increase the excitation. We have to increase the excitation of machine. And what will happen if we increase the excitation? If we increase the excitation, then more flux will be generated, and more flux will be generated, that means what? More d phi by dt has been generated. Let me write over the formula of EMF, output EMF. EMF is equal to N d phi by dt. EMF of alternator, the basic equation is that EMF is equal to N d phi by dt. Clear? Suppose this is our output voltage, so we can say that output voltage is proportional to the d phi by dt. Now if we want to increase the output voltage, then the obvious thing is that we have to increase the rate of change of flux. That means what? That means excitation. So in this case, if output voltage is less than the reference voltage, then we have to increase that output voltage. So we have to increase the excitation. On the vice versa case, if output voltage is less than the reference voltage, if output voltage is less than the reference voltage, then we have to reduce the excitation. So we have to reduce the excitation, and in that case d phi by dt will increase, so output voltage will decrease. So this is how we can control the output voltage, and this is how we can control the output frequency. Now this is the same case, this is the same case that has been explained with some another diagram. So also over here we are going to measure the frequency, output frequency and output voltage, output frequency and output voltage. So this output frequency has been compared to the reference frequency, so that error signal has been generated, and based on that load frequency controlling action has been done, and based on that valve control mechanism will act, and that will control the steam flow. On the similar case, output voltage has been compared to with reference voltage, error signal has been generated. So based on that error signal, AVR, automatic voltage regulator, has been activated, and it will control the excitation system. So this is the second diagram, but over here a 2 block load frequency control and AVR has been included. So in this particular chapter we have to learn these 2 block in detail. That is the load frequency control and automatic voltage regulator. So with this discussion we can conclude that the change in load demand has been identified as 2 types of load demand. The first one is slow varying change in mean demand, that means variation is little bit slow. Second one is the random variation around the mean value. This random variation is considered as contingency. Clear? So we cannot consider this variation in our regular day-to-day by life. So we are mainly focusing on slow variation around the mean deviation. Clear? We are mainly focusing on slow and steady variation of load. So our regulator means this load frequency control, and AVR means controller. So our controller must be designed to be insensitive to the fast and random changes. Clear? Because this random change or fast change is sometimes called transient, or we can say that fault. So whenever there is a transient and fault, there has to be a protective device which must be operated, but our controller is designed mainly for the slow and steady change in demand. So the regulator must be designed to be insensitive to fast and random changes, otherwise system will be prone to the hunting and resulting in excessive wear and tear of rotating machine and equipment. So controller must be insensitive for this contingency. If there is a fast variation or random variation, then controller must be inactive, because in that random and fast variation changes there has to be a protective device which has to be operated. So our controller is designed based on slow steady variation of load. So we can find, now we can learn about the load frequency control. So there are 2 types of control, voltage control and frequency control. So I will first start with the frequency control. Clear? After completion of frequency control, I will shift to the voltage control. So in that case, let us consider the problem of controlling the output power of the generator of a closely knit electric area for the maintain the frequency. So we are going to consider one area in which we have to control the output power. Ultimately we have to control the frequency of that particular area. So in that area there are number of generator which are coherent group, so that all the generators speed up and slow down together for maintaining their power angle, or we can say that maintaining their output power or output frequency. So coherent group means a machine, there are number of machine which are operated in parallel, so it is known as coherent group, and that area for which we are going to control the output power or frequency, that area is known as control area, and the boundary of that control area has been decided by that particular electricity board company. So what we have considered over here, we have considered one area in which there are number of generators which are connected in parallel. and that generator are speed up and slow down together for maintaining their power angle, means they are going to maintain their output power and frequency. So that area has been known as control area, and their boundary has been decided by their respective electricity board company. So in that particular area, so we have considered one area. So in that particular area, what is the basic role of automatic load frequency control? So their main role is to maintain the desired output, megawatt output of generator with respect to their load. That means in that particular area, what ALFC will do, it will maintain the output megawatt of particular generator and compare that output with load. Second role is to assist the controlling the frequency of larger interconnection area, means to maintain the frequency of that particular area in desirable limit. Third role is to keep the net interchange power between area at predetermined value. Exchange of power has been decided by ALFC. And the last function is ALFC loop will maintain the control only during the normal change in load with respect to frequency. That I have already discussed, that controller is designed for normal change in load and frequency. Rapid and fast acting of load has not been sensed by ALFC. ALFC is control only for normal change of load and normal change of frequency. It is typically unable to provide the adequate control during emergency situation when large megawatt imbalance has been occurred. Then more drastic emergency control must be applied. That I have already told you, that whenever there is a fast and rapid change, there has to be a protective device which has to be operated. ALFC is only for slow and steady variation of load. So with this we will conclude our session. This is only our introductory part. In the next lecture we will learn further for ALFC. So with this we will conclude our session. If you have any doubt, any question, you can give your doubt and question in comment section. Thank you very much.